right, everyone. Hello, hello. I am doing today the Reader's Profile tag. This is an original tag created by Hillary B. Green at Book Bustle, and I was tagged by Gavin at Genre Books. There are 11 prompts to this, including tagging people, of course. Prompt number 1. What for you makes a good book? Now, aside from your usual answers of character and plot and environment and all that stuff, I suppose it's something, I guess the way I worded it to myself when I thought about it was a book that for a moment can actually take you out of the book. You'll be reading along and you'll stop at this one scene and think to yourself, if I were doing this in this moment, what would I do? Would I yell at somebody? Would I reason with them? Would I run away? What if this were a real world situation versus in its science fiction or fantasy situation? How would I deal with it? A book that can make you stop and think like that means you're doing pretty good. Or a book that gives you a visceral reaction, like this one I'm going to mention later by Stephen R. Donaldson. I almost chucked this thing into the windshield of the vehicle I was sitting in when I was reading it. So a book that gets you like that, that can move you like that, I think, means you're in a pretty good book. What are you currently reading? This is The Mercy of Gods by James A. Corey. And this is, of course, best known for the Expanse series, which I read all of them. I fell out of the TV series. I started watching it, and it just didn't keep me, although everyone loves it. So this is not just alien invasion. This is, we're going to kill a bunch just to make sure you know in business, and then we're going to take you to our homeworld and make use of you, or you're going to die. They are cold-hearted. I'll do a video about this. I'm about halfway done right now. Just been reading it since yesterday, so I'm going to finish this off either today or tomorrow. Probably put a video out on this. I have a current favorite book this year, and that is Seasons of Albion. This has had some contenders, some that were pretty close to this one, like Annihilation. This could be a contender. There, I almost had a contender here with Exordia, and that wound up utterly disappointing me. But this here, yeah, this is a contender so far. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see who knocks you out right here. Put that back, put this over here. Prompt number 3, what's the last book you didn't finish and why? This is Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I had just read Elder Race by him and loved it. But this, what I've been telling people, I'm not an audiobook reader, but I'm willing to bet if you listen to this on audiobook so it does all the work, you'll enjoy it or something, because this was a strain to read because of this simplistic, robotic back and forth between robots about how they go about their chores, and it's just, okay, I get it, can we move this along? And it would not. It just bogged it down for me, and I said, I'm not enjoying it, so I'm not going to keep on going. Number 4, what obscure book do you wish other people would read? Well, that would be The Making of Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Now, if you've never seen the movie or read the book, the way I happened to experience was to see the movie 2001 first, and then I went and read the book. Those are two different animals, and I think that the novel is not as much of a mystery as the film. And so if you read the book first and go for the film, you're going to kind of lose the mystery. And the movie is all mystery. It's just a suspenseful idea. It's in a theme of evolution throughout the movie, but you don't know where it's going if you've never seen it before. And it's stupendous. It's an amazing experience. There's maybe parts of it that feel a little dated. So, you know, do with it what you can. But it's certainly worth seeing one time, even if you're not that big a science fiction fan. But a movie first, then book, and then, because people want answers, they're not necessarily clear between the two. And here they all are. There's not only speculations about life in the universe, interviews with people reviewing the film and what they thought about it, interviews with Clark and Kubrick and what they think about life in the universe and the film itself, of course. That was a real fun behind-the-scenes read right there. What prompt number 5? What's the longest book you have ever read? I'm assuming this is it. I went around and did some looking. So this is Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, second in the King Killer trilogy, which we're all waiting patiently for that third book, Doors of Stone. And this is clocks in at 1,102 pages. I feel like there's something I put my hands on that was longer, but I could not think of what in the world it was. But that's the one. There's another book. I'll bring this back later because it pertains to another question too, but I'm going to use another book with that one too. Number 6, if you could have a dinner party with 5 fictional characters, who would they be? Now, so I didn't go the peaceful route here. These are my 5, right? We have Lucifer, the devil himself. We have Sauron, Lord of the Rings. We have Pinhead from Hellraiser. I have a book with him. And Lord Fowl from the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, the Unbeliever. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Originally, the reason I picked this first off is because a reviewer was talking about Pinhead in Hellraiser movies. They said Pinhead's a type of villain that one moment he'll tear you apart, and then the next time he'll sit down for a wonderful meal and talk, the day's politics with you. He's so elegant. And so I picked a bunch of villains that are maybe kind of like that at some point to throw them in a room. And originally I said the 5th one was going to be one Sal the Cacophony from Sam Sykes' book, The 7 Blades in Black. Because though she is a normal human, she has this demon gun she made a pact with to get revenge with. And she just destroys things with this gun. It's not just a simple bullet. The bullet contains these immensely powerful spells, and I'd just be curious to see if she could fight her way out of the room. So I don't think dinner would last too long before chains and evil and spells and guns start flying. I'd be interested in seeing how that turns out. So, number 7, 5 books you'd want if stranded on a desert island. So, number 1, my current favorite of the year, Seasons of Abaddon. Again, 4 wonderful short stories linked together. They basically are just sequels to each other, though with different characters in each one. Perilous, fey, magical. It was utterly surprising. The first story shocked the living hell out of me when it ended. And then it's like, oh, now how is this going to affect the rest of the story? Because nobody knows who's who exactly. And it's great, it's wonderful. And did a whole video on that one if you want to have a look at that. Wonderful, I like that one. The Ill-Earth War by Stephen R. Donaldson. Now, I have not reread this. This one I read through it word for word once. I'm going to call it like a 90% skim through. Another time I didn't really reread the whole book. As far as the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant go, occasionally I'll pick one up and go reread some of my favorite scenes because they're wonderful experience. Matter of fact, I think I think they're the things I've reread most, not necessarily front to back. I've only read through them once solid, but I go back to them more often than I have other books. Because I like the experiences. It's opera in a book. It's some people call it dark fantasy. It's not. It's very high fantasy, but it's perilous and vague, just like a bit of this is, but a completely different flavor. I guess a darker flavor, which is why maybe people refer to it that way, but not so much. I mean, these are actually really related in the dangers that are involved in them. Mr. Covenant here, people don't like Thomas Covenant because, hey, you're not doing what you should be doing, but that's kind of the point. And I won't give away too much on that matter because it's important that he's not a hero. and he's trying to save his own life. He doesn't believe he's actually in a fantasy world, hence a believer. And so much so that the last act of this book is one of the more suspenseful things I've ever read. You've never been where they're going. You don't know who's going to do what. You don't know what the end goal is just yet. They just know there's something important there they need to take a look at, and who's manipulating who and where it's going. It's just an awesome read. And like I said, Thomas come to piss me off too. Not to give it away, but it's like he's supposed to, you want him to do something, and he does something completely opposite. And I almost threw this into the windshield. Stop. I picked it up again and continued reading. I'm like, oh good, oh good. So this gets a reaction. This is one of my favorite books. The other, almost moved down here. So Paul McCauley, Evenings Empires. So this is like a 99% hard science fiction book. It takes place throughout the solar system. This is in the outer solar system. It's actually the fourth in the series, but it's a standalone book. You can read it without reading the other three books that preceded it. This one, it refers to some event that happened before it. When I read the other three books, I couldn't find it, so I'm wondering, I never looked it up to see if there's some short story I missed that he put out. But this is this family spaceship. It's in a ring, spins for gravity, hard science fiction, and it gets hijacked, and the people on board murdered. His family's killed, and he managed to escape. And this is about him going through and trying to find out what in the hell happened and why, and who did what for what reason. A little light cyberpunk, a little light biopunk. Or is it late? No, there's some pretty serious biopunk in here. The post, it's not really cyberpunk. You would call it post cyberpunk. It's not mechanical things jammed in your head. It's just some implants that allow you to do things like use the local nets and use maps and things like that without having to use a device. Space exploration, real good stuff. Most people, I never hear anyone ever talk about this book. It's just me and it's just I'm gonna brain fart on his name. Sci-Fi Scavenger. He's got this on his TBR, and he's the only one I've ever heard who's gonna at least take a look at it. So Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash, if not for Neuromancer, this would be the numero uno cyberpunk book ever. This is a fast-paced but very intelligent, I think, book. You get your pre-internet lingo in part from this and from Neuromancer. This is see this guy here, our hero protagonist is his actual name. He is the greatest swordsman in the world in a post-United States kind of world. Everything's a bit broken up. And even though he is also the greatest programmer in the world, he's got to start out life in this book, at least, with a pizza delivery man. and then things get rolling. He picks up a sidekick. This concerns, I guess the idea, I don't want to hand out too much here. It's someone trying to take over the world type of book, and they have a way to do it with some old information from, we're talking thousands of years ago, and how they were able to have instructions for how their civilization worked. The idea might have been that minds were simpler then and simpler to control, and somewhere inside of us, that piece of mind still exists, and instructions can be given and now uploaded to people's minds to help control them. And it's called Snow Crash. Yes, that's right. A Star Wars book. Are you surprised? Return of the Jedi, original novelization. So Star Wars was the thing. You see the 1977 release, 1980 Empire Strikes Back, and here we are coming to get the answers. Movie was going to come out in just a few short weeks, and I happened through a store while visiting relatives in Kentucky, and this was sitting on the stands. I'm like, why is the book? Why is that really it? This is the answers. Why would they put this out before the film and you be spoiled for the film? What are you doing? And so I bought it. So I'll read it after the movie. I want to see the movie. well, there's not a lot to do down in Kentucky, and so I don't know how to describe this. They did this a video of this. The first page of this is incredible. And I'm like, ooh, good. Well, it won't hurt. Let me read the first chapter. And that's all it took, and I read the whole thing. I was completely spoiled, and it was wonderful. This is a wonderfully written, underrated prose in this book, and it feels really good. Maybe because I'm biased, big Star Wars fan, but it felt so good to read this. Got done. One of those moments, oh, nobody knows what I've been through, and it just made me want to see the movie more, and I wasn't disappointed. Return of the Jedi. Bow. All right. Prompt number 8. One book you could not put down. So again, Patrick Rothfuss, Wise Man's Fear, 1,100 pages. I started this at 4 a.m. and finished this off by 9 p.m. when I went to bed. It was on a Saturday, beautiful day out. I meant to get out. I wanted to get out. I'm like, no, this is too good. I want to know. And I just sat and read it all day. Yes, I took pee breaks. Yes, I took food breaks, and then finished that off in a day. We'll see if I can do it for the third one, Doors of Stone, whenever it does come out. The other one, though, so I didn't want to double use one book for two things. So here's Happy Hour in Hell by Ted Williams. If you ever read a Ted Williams book, this is a very good writer. And this is the second in a trilogy of Bobby Dollar. The setup is you got someone will die, and angels and demons will show up acting as lawyers to some judge from heaven, and they basically say, well, here's why this guy should go to heaven, here's why he should go to hell, and they pass judgment, and he goes to either one. And this is what happened in the first book. Is he fell in love with, I don't remember if they called her a succubus or not. She's definitely a demon woman, falls in love with her, but she gets taken where she belongs in hell, abducted away. So he wants to go save her. And what follows, he has to give up his angel powers because he'll stand out like a bright light. So he has to give it all up, take on a normal human soul, and go in. And this is a long journey through the depths of hell, trying to find the love of his life. And it paid off so well. This was another one like this. I'm like, no, I have to know. I have to know what's going to happen. Happily, this one's only like 450 some pages, so it didn't take all day to get through it. Prompt number 9, 5 books or authors you will never read. Okay, so I had a little trouble with this because I didn't want to do something trite like, I did not finish a couple books that are obviously the start of a series and I'll never read the thing. I only got a couple answers. 2 authors I guess I'm done with. I'm just not interested in going back to or anything like that. Number 1 is Brandon Sanderson. The other one's Stephen King. Now, right off, if you've ever seen an interview with them, they're the most wonderful people. They're just wonderful people. And obviously, they're both very good writers. The problem with them, I feel like it's just too much to try and read that. In a lot of places, it reads like filler. I tried Stormlight, and you can say I like the Sanderson book because I like Stormlight enough. I'm like, well, let me go get the other one, the second one. But I detected it in the first one, and it was there in spades in the second one too. Just page after page of nothing. Like, just nothing, there's nothing happening. So is this supposed to be introspection? I didn't understand. It just kept going and not doing anything. And I said, I'm going to get the third one. I'm interested in what's in these books. But if that third one starts out like the way this one is, I'm done, and I'm done. I didn't make it 50 pages. Just, what's going on? Just move your book along. I almost wonder about editors sometimes if they don't have any balls to tell writers, look, see this section of the book? You don't need this. This doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. You're not even building a world. You're not adding to this person's persona. It's just nothing. As for Stephen King, I read The Stand a long time ago and liked it, although if memory serves, right in the middle of that book, there's a chunk of it where they drafted a constitution point for point. Okay, really? So I got through it and I enjoyed the book overall, but that was my first taste. And then I think I tried, I want to say it was Tommy Knockers. And again, I'm like, oh Christ, is it just, it's like it's overwritten or something. And so I just gave up. And when you hear things like, I loved The Shining, not the book, the movie. So when you hear the author just tests the movie compared to his book, what do I do with that? I'm just not interested. If I can say good things about them, great world building, great characters. Their prose are actually pretty good. Dialogue is good. Situations are good. And then there's just too much of nothing in other books, so I couldn't, just something I couldn't deal with. So I'm done with the two of them. I couldn't come up with others. I think those are those are too big names to fill in for five. How about that? Number 10. If you were to write a book, what would it be about? Well, guess what? I kind of did. I have a short story sitting on Amazon Kindle. It's called The Follower by yours truly, Monty Atkins Jr. 99 cents and 10 minutes of your time. I'll even put a link in the description if you want to give it a shot. I think it's Kindle exclusive right now. And then when that ends, I'll probably try to throw it around like in general and put it out there a little bit further. But it just sounded good to have it exclusive, and plus you make money with people who can download it for free because they're making monthly payments, and you get like per page that they read, you get some kind of money. And how many copies have I sold? 0. So number 11, tag some people. So what I'm gonna do, Read by Fred just had a video today, so I'm going to tag Read by Fred, and he likes doing book tags. This lady here is a little new to me. She's got 600 some subscribers though, 100 videos, so she's doing good. But she's new to me, so I'm going to tag her, and that's Mrs. Pizza Reads. And we're going to go. Now this is a new channel, like new. She's got 11 subscribers. She's got 2 videos. And this is Leanna Rose. I'm going to tag her, and I'm going to tag, this is someone also new to me, but he's been around for a while. I wonder how much he's got going on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's doing well. He's got 1,900 some subscribers, 379 videos, and he just did a real good video yesterday called Can Jake Guess His Friend's Favorite Books? Taking a list taken in by his wife, and she was quizzing him off screen there. See how he did. And that's The Bookish Drummer. And I just joined his Discord. So having fun there, actually. That's it. Give me a couple days and I'll do a video on the mercy of gods. That's it for me today. Lovely Thursday. Waiting around applying for jobs. still not working. I'm going to have to, what do I got? Couple months of my own cash, and then I have to cash in a 401k, which would give me many more months because there's a decent amount of money in there, but I don't want to touch it. I want to get to working. I'm trying to be picky and not pick some junk job, and get on with working again. There's this part of me that never wants to work another day of my life. I'm getting old now, but that's where I sit there. That's it for me. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see my people I tag do this. This would be fun. Thank you so much.